Hello everyone, Marty Six Interesters here, and today I'm going to give you guys my ranking on the Arrow villains. Now, for um, for a few things I want to mention, I will not be including the Anti-Monitor, and I will not be including flashback villains. I will just be including main villains. So this is like Merlin, Deathstroke, Ras Al Ghul, all those guys. So let's get started. Coming in last place and the worst Arrow villain by far is Malcolm Merlin, in my opinion. Now, for disclosure, he does get a little better in seasons 3, 4, and 5, but I don't really consider him the main villain of those seasons. I consider him just the main villain of season 1. And in season 1, for me, he was just a pretty bland villain. Like, I don't even think he was really in many episodes as the Dark Archer and all that. Which sucked because, I really like when he was the Dark Archer. I really like how he was in that black suit and how even Oliver was questioning if he can take him down and all that. Like that was some great stuff. But for the disclosure, I think Merlin is still the worst Arrow villain by far, in my opinion. You know. Coming in number 6 is Emiko Queen. Now I don't think Emiko Queen is as bad as some people say. She isn't great, but I don't think she's like one of the worst. Because you did saw her a lot as the Red Arrow, and you did like some of the reveals. But as a character, I don't think she was the right choice, and I think by the end, I just didn't like her that much. For the disclosure, I think Emiko is an alright villain. She's not the worst villain, but she's just an okay villain. Now, these next 5 are either good to great. So, from number 5 onwards are great. Number 5 is Deathstroke. Now, I know Deathstroke is pretty low, but I still like him. There was just a few issues I had with his character. It's mainly the whole origin of him. It was just not that great, but apart from his motivations, um, I thought he was a really, really good villain. I thought the personal connection worked really well. I thought the whole Merkuru aspect worked well. I even liked him on season 1's flashbacks, which which made me enjoy him even more, and all that. And I even enjoyed some of the fight scenes Deathstroke had and all that. So yeah, I'd say Deathstroke is still a good villain. He's just not my favorite. Coming in number 4, we have Ras Al Ghul or Ras Al Ghul. Now, I really like Ras Al Ghul's character because in the sense that he has a bit of honorary to him. And obviously you have the mountain fight between him and Oliver, and you can literally see he does respect Oliver, but in a different sense. And I think that the idea of Oliver becoming the new Ras Al Ghul works so well, and I really enjoyed it. In terms of some issues, I do have a few issues. I just feel like Ras Al Ghul was just a bit of the wrong villain. Not saying he was a bad villain, I was just saying he's a bit of the wrong villain. Because, season 1 and 2 are closer to Batman and Green Arrow and all that. I'm not saying it's a negative, I'm just saying I think Ras Al Ghul was kind of the wrong villain to choose from and all that. Coming in number 3, now these 3 are straight up perfect. I could literally have these 3 in these 3 spots all the time. But number 3 is going to be Damien Dark. I love Damien. For me, it's just that sense of humor. His sense of humor works so well. Like, he can just automatically joke even when this thing is meant to be serious. I really enjoy that. And I do enjoy Neil McDonald's performance. I think he was a great actor. And I even like the magical stuff. I don't get why people complain about the magic stuff. For me, I don't care if it doesn't work. I still prefer the magical stuff over some other stuff that they could use. And I actually enjoy how they tied in with season 2, they tied Damien's magical powers with Oliver in the present day and all that. I enjoyed that. And I also felt like he was the right amount. I feel like Damien is one of the more underrated ones in terms of arrow villains. And coming in number 2, we have Prometheus. Now, Prometheus, Adrian Chase, my god, this guy was phenomenal. You know, John Segarro, he did a phenomenal job as Prometheus because of how crazy this guy was, you know, how crazy he could be. Like, he even broke Oliver, and I think that alone should at least make him in the top 3. Which, the episode where he breaks Oliver is my personal favorite Arrow episode because of how great that episode was. And I also feel like the fact that he kind of was like this character who can literally predict the future half the time. I really also enjoy that. Like, oh, see you around the boat, and then happens that turns out it is on a boat and all that. I really enjoy all that. But my personal favorite Arrow villain is Ricardo Diaz. The reason I like Ricardo Diaz is because this guy was crazy. I mean, Prometheus is crazy, but I say Diaz is crazier because of how manipulative he was, how ruthless he can be. I mean, he even cheated in a fight, which, to disclosure, I still like. I actually liked how he cheated because it shows he didn't care and all that. I like his music, like for Prometheus and Damien Dark and all that. And I also felt like Kirk Acevedo was the right man to play Diaz. And I also like how Diaz was like this drug lord and a crime lord and all that. I think he worked really well. That's about it. Those are my Arrow villains ranking. Let me know yours down below. And as always, I'll see you next time. Good.